Recording. There you go, Marissa. So I will pass it over to you, Jen.
Okay. Can you all hear me? Just give me maybe a thumbs up if you guys can hear me, because perfect. My audio was being kind of funny before. So as Amanda said, my name is Jen, and I am a certified professional life and leadership coach, also a team Beachbody coach. So what does it mean that I'm a certified professional life coach? It means that I went back to school. I got my degree in that. It means I've done a lot of schooling in that area. I mainly work with women. I do have some male clients as well, but that's kind of on a case-by-case basis for me. But essentially, I work with women who are stuck in just feeling like they're not quite sure what their purpose is, or knowing that there's more to life than what's going on for them right now, but kind of stuck in a lot of limiting beliefs and assumptions. And so we unpack a lot of that together. I have different assessments that I use with clients. And essentially, as a life coach, I help people shift, right? Make that shift from where they are now to where they want to be. And that's going to look different for everyone. But common themes that I see, especially in the women I work with, are a lot of young moms that have young children. Along with that comes a lot of guilt, not knowing how to ask for what we need, not knowing how to recognize when we're feeling overwhelmed because we're constantly spinning a bazillion plates. Working a business while holding a baby on our hip. And I've been there, totally done that. I have 3 kids. My oldest is 14, and she just started high school this week, and I'm kind of freaking out about that. And then I have 2 12-year-old boys who started 6th grade this week. I've been married for 17 years. My husband is a pastor. We've been in ministry together for all of that time, and then some when we were dating and engaged. So yeah, a little bit about me. As far as my coaching certifications, I went to a school called IPEC, which is the Institute for Professional Excellence in Coaching. So if you Google that, or just go to www.ipec.com, you'll see more about IPEC coaching. So yeah, does that answer some introductions, Amanda?
Yes. Sorry, I stopped my video because when my video is on, your recording isn't as good. So I just stopped it. But that's great. Yes.
Yeah, so Amanda had asked if I would be willing to host the team call, and I said sure. I'd be more than happy to. I've been a Beachbody coach for a little over 2 years now, so I don't know how long the rest of you have been here. Some of you I know have been Beachbody coaches for longer than me. I've been a certified professional coach for years, but Beachbody came into my life a couple years ago, and so we kind of thought that it would be beneficial to do kind of a Q&A. Life coaching is not, it's an investment. People really make an investment to work with me privately. But I just felt like if there are things on your heart, or limiting beliefs, or questions, or things that you're struggling with that maybe you would kind of like to ask a life coach about, I would love to just offer that. let me preface this by saying I'm not an expert on your life. I hold the belief that you're an expert on your life, and it's my job as a coach to help you discover and understand maybe what's getting in your way. I ask a lot of kind of deep, empowering questions to help us kind of uncover a lot of that stuff, and I really listen for what's not being said, which active listening is kind of a learned skill. So I really wanted this to be beneficial for you guys. So we kind of felt like if you bring to the table some questions that you might have, I'd be more than happy to answer those.
So Jill has a question. She said, when people have limiting beliefs, what kind of questions do you ask them to find out what their real issue is? And that's totally relatable to coaching, actually.
Oh, sure. Okay, so when people have limiting beliefs, what kind of questions do you ask them to find out what the real issue is? So first I will call them out on it gently, lovingly, right? And say, you know, it sounds to me like you have a limiting belief around that. How do you feel about exploring that a little bit more? And 99.9% of the time they say, well, what do you mean? And so we go into it. And so I might ask them, you know, well, tell me how that's affecting your life right now, right? I might ask them, okay, so tell me what evidence you have to support your belief. And for example, recently was doing a private coaching session, and I can share this because I'm not sharing names. This is still, you know, under the confidentiality policy, but you know, we talked about how we all approach life with the lens, the lens through which we see the world, right, is based on past experiences. So if I've had this experience and I've had this outcome, then that's going to clearly impact the decisions I do or do not make. But there also could be some real fear holding me back in there because maybe I'm assuming that this is going to turn out the way this did. So I don't know if that's answering your question, Jill, but so questions that I might ask, really I want to know what evidence that you have to support the belief that you're holding. Like I said, for example, in this coaching session I was recently doing, I asked my client that, and she was like, well, actually none. So what does that mean? You know, and so we were able to kind of go deeper and understand, you know what, your view on this right now is based really on your learned behavior, and we can change that, right? Like that's something we can work with. That's something that we can change. So is that helpful? Okay, good. If you guys want to type your questions in, I don't know if you want to type them in the chat area.
I was typing because my family is still being very loud. So you ask them what their evidence is. So do you kind of, whenever you have people asking you about Beachbody coach, well, not coaching, but like the challenge groups, and you get those objections, is that kind of where you incorporate your finding what their objection is? Like, is their objection usually tied to their limited beliefs?
Yeah, that's a good question. So typically what I found is with Beachbody, objections come from assumptions first. Like, you know, an assumption about what a challenge group is, or what, you know, how hard a program might be. And, you know, so I kind of tackle the assumptions. You know, I might say to them, well, for example, okay, I think this is a perfect example. Just had somebody who's been a challenger of mine for a long time, but she never buyed. Did you hear that? She never bought Shakeology. And she messaged me last night out of the blue that she was thinking about trying Country Heat and wanted to know my thoughts on that. And of course, I was like, I totally think you should try Country Heat. I said, I haven't personally done it. I've done the previews on Beachbody On Demand, and they were really fun. And but I'm personally finishing up 22-minute hardcore and training for a 10K trail race. So Country Heat's not right for me right now. However, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So then I said to her, I don't know if you're interested, but it is on sale as a challenge pack for $140. Totally doesn't matter to me if you do that or not, but I just want to make sure that you know. And she said, well, I really can't have a lot of that stuff that's in those shakes. And so I said, well, tell me what you know about Shakeology. Just ask that question. Tell me what you know about Shakeology. And so she told me what she thought she knew, and it wasn't even true. It was an assumption that she had made about other protein shakes. And so I was able to talk through, well, here's actually what Shakeology is. So, and then just today sent in a sample of Cafe Latte Shakeology with my boys to school for her to have and to try. So, a lot of times it's assumptions. Limiting beliefs typically will come in when challengers don't believe that they have what it takes to accomplish whatever they want to accomplish, because it's too hard. It's just too hard. But here's the thing. It's also hard. Like, being overweight is also really hard. And so we got to choose our hard. And we have to say that to our challengers. We have to say that to them because nobody else is saying that to them. So yeah, losing weight is hard. Getting fit, toning up, being consistent, showing up, it's hard. And you know what? So is being overweight, being out of breath, not being able to button my damn jeans, not being able to walk a 5K with my kids. That's pretty damn hard too. So we got to choose our hard. And we got to tell our challengers to do that too. Sorry,
I love that.
Sometimes I cuss a little bit.
And I like to swear. No, I like that. I like to choose your hard. I've said similar things to that, but I never put it in those words. And I think that that's just this really simple way of saying, well, if you're not going to do this, then you're going to be living with that. And they're equally shitty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I've never even bought, what's so funny is I've had people say, well, I just don't want to do shakes yet. I'm just not into doing shakes. And I never came back with that. Well, what do you know about Shakeology rebuttal? I'm just like, oh, why wouldn't they want to try this? And I'm like, well, let me send you a sample, blah, blah, blah. But I've never used that tool like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's helpful. Thanks.
Oh, yeah. You're welcome.
4 years. Been here 4 years. And I never asked that. What do you know about Shakeology?
I really like that also.
Yeah.
Because that's, that is very true. A lot of people think oh, it has soy in it or it has this in it and that in it and I can't have that. And they just really don't know what they're actually talking about. Mm-hmm. So does anybody have a limiting belief that they want to talk to Jen about? And maybe she can help you kind of get through it, whether it be any kind of an excuse for your business or anything that you're just trying to work through that you feel might be holding you back right now? Someone's got a limiting belief somewhere because I talk to you guys all the time.
We all do, you guys. I have them too. So don't think,
I do too.
I'm with you on this. And I know
Yeah.
it's vulnerable to be like, yeah, we're totally recording this. Let me talk to you about my limiting beliefs.
Danielle says her limiting belief is that she doesn't have enough time for her family, house, kids, and business.
Okay. So Danielle, are you willing to unmute yourself and kind of chat with me a little bit?
I'm back.
Yeah, it helps me to see you actually.
Yeah, no, I don't have any, well, I have a tank top on, but I was going to shut my video off because I had to get up. I was like, well, no, I find it just hard to like fit the time in, and it's just like, oh man, if I do this and I spend all these hours doing this and working on this and reaching out to my challengers and building my website and trying to get everything done right now that I'm trying to do to build my team, something always gets left behind, and usually it's my husband, and that's not going so hot. Or the kids, or the house is just constantly trashed. Like you can't keep up with the housework, and just need to. I was really good at it last year, and then all of a sudden, school started and we moved and everything. I can't get back into that focus.
Okay, so it sounds to me like you felt like last year you were on top of all of these plates that you're spinning, and
Mm-hmm.
then you moved, which is, by the way, a major life transition.
Yeah.
So give yourself some breathing room on that one.
It's been like a whole entire year.
Since you've moved?
Yeah, we've been here a year last weekend.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's like, come on, get your shit together.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm hearing some shoulds in here, right? Like I should have this together. I should have my act together by now. I should be able to manage all of these things. I should be a rock star mom. I should be a rock star wife, and I should be a rock star business owner all at the same time. I should be able to do that. Okay. So my first thing that I want to say to you is to stop shoulding on yourself. So we should on ourselves all the time, especially, I again, I am not the expert. I'm in this with you guys. So I talk about this kind of stuff all the time with private clients. So I do it too. My first question though is, who says that you should? So maybe some questions to kind of think about for you. Where is that message coming from? Is it coming from, other coaches that they're not saying it to you, but you're interpreting it that way? Are you comparing yourself to other coaches in the business? If you say you're not, I will tell you that I think you're lying, because
We all do it.
we all do it. Exactly. We all do it. But you're right. Like when we say yes to something, we're also saying no thank you to something else.
Right.
And so figuring out priorities and figuring out core values is a really important thing to know about yourself. What are your core values? What do you say, or what drives your decision making at this stage in your life? I'm actually hosting a team call for DFG in October, where I will lead you guys through an exercise on figuring out what your core values are and why that matters. So I hope that that's helpful. I think it will be really helpful. And then, also, I think moving it's a big deal. It's a bigger deal than I think we realize.
Yeah, it was that, and Gavin started kindergarten. Like before that, we were homeschooling. We were home. I didn't have to leave my house ever. And even just like the half an hour it took to go to school and then to pick him up, I don't know why. There's 6 hours in between, but it just screws up everything.
It goes really fast.
Yeah.
I know.
And now he's riding the bus, so it's a lot easier. It's, 2 seconds out, he's on the bus, and then he can walk himself home. So
Yeah.
And I hit Success Club this month for the first time since November. So
Good job.
I guess we're getting there.
High five through the computer, girl. Yeah. Okay, so you said I don't have enough time for my family, house, kids, and this business. Language is really important. This is something I talk about. So our language literally carries, there's two types of energy. Part of what I do as a life coach is energy coaching, not energy in the sense of like tarot cards and
Right.
aura kind of stuff, not new agey energy stuff. But basically, there's this theory, right, that there's two types of energy. There's what's called anabolic energy, and there's catabolic energy. Anabolic energy is enhancing, it's life-giving, it's, we've heard of anabolic steroids, right? Those are performance-enhancing drugs, essentially. Then there's catabolic energy. Catabolic is destructive. It sucks you down. It's victim mentality, which we all fall into at different times. Guilt plays into that. Yeah. We're good at that as mamas, aren't we? We're really good at that. And so catabolic energy is literally destructive at the cellular level in our body. Okay. So our words carry energy as well. And so what we say to ourselves, so when we say things like, I should be XYZ, I have to XYZ, that's catabolic. So if we can reframe that into, rather than I have to spend 3 hours on my business today, how do we shift that from a have to a want to? So what's the end result that we really want to accomplish? So if I want to accomplish the feeling of freedom, the feeling of relief, the feeling of accomplishment, then that's my goal. Those emotions, that positive feeling that I'm going to feel, that's my goal. The way that I get there is by doing the work. So the work is the bridge. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. But so I would, lovingly caution you, and again, I say this to myself, I don't say to anybody else, to watch your language,
Right.
The language that you use to your even in your head, right? Oh my gosh.
No, you're absolutely right. Because last year it was a want, because I wanted to do this. I wanted to be here. I wanted to help people. And then I just got drained. I think it was just all of a sudden it was so much, and it was like, I just need to breathe. And then we got back from Summit last year with a note saying that we had to find a new place to live because our landlord was selling our apartment. And I was like, okay, well, there goes the Summit energy, and then, we had 21 days. We bought a house. We moved in 2 days before Gavin started kindergarten. And then I just never got my mojo back, but it's back now. So
here's my part, because I know you personally. I just want to jump in my non-life coach experience. Sorry, so there's a little kids talking to me. You are very much like me, and you are very clearly a sapphire. You thrive on fun, and you thrive on recognition, right? Okay, so the fun aspect will get the best of us, and it will suck all of our time out of us. I don't want to sit at home all day and work. I have all day that I could sit at home and work. Adam can go and get the kids and pick them up and all of that. That's not my thing. So I find myself slacking on the things that I need to get done because I say yes to hanging out with my friend because they have the day off, or going and doing this and that with Adam during the day, or just even wasting time grocery shopping and things Adam could go and do alone, or I'll go with him to drop the kids off. And then, so just recently I've reminded myself, you don't have time for this crap. You have a great business you need to work on and you need to grow. And it's time to start saying no. So if Adam is giving me a hard time, I have to be yes, I agree, Jill. I think she very much has her shit together. She looks way more together than me. She's posting videos of herself working out every morning. I'm go girl. I don't even remember to do a video. So good for you. I can't even remember to take a sweaty selfie. But like you have everybody coming over in the morning to work out with you. When I have somebody coming over in the morning to work out with me, she comes with her kid, which I'm sure that one of them does
Mhm.
also.
Yeah, but she
And
lives next door, so I can just kick her out and be like, all right, go home. It's time.
Right. But so they come with their kid, and their kid is trashing your house, and their kid needs stuff during your workout, and your 30-minute workout turns into an hour and a half because you're both managing your children. I've
Mhm.
been there. I've done that. And then once their children leave, you're exhausted because you just entertained someone in the morning, and you're like, well, geez, it's nap time.
Yeah.
And I'm there. I'm with
Thankfully,
you.
yeah, thankfully it's not like that for us. Like we got really lucky because Collins and Camden play amazing together, and they will sit on the back porch and play Play-Doh for an hour, and we don't even know they're there. It's perfect. So she keeps Camden out of my hair so I can actually get my workout done, which is nice.
That's
Yeah.
good. But
So,
you know what I mean when I'm
Yeah.
saying, like, you take on a lot of things that you don't have to.
yeah.
You know, and you need to at some point stop and be like, I need to do what I need to do for me.
Yeah, and it's been, like the play dates for Camden. It's like I want him to be able to play with his friends and see his friends and get out of the house because he's here with me all day. But, I just have to entertain him for a little bit and make them shorter. Make them, a half an hour. We're going to go to the library. We're going to play, and we're going to come home. And then, you can play on your computer, and mommy's going to get some work done because that's just,
And let me just say that you will never regret that time that you're spending with him.
I know.
My daughter started high school on Monday. I am too young to have a high schooler, let me tell you.
Yeah.
And I, just had this realization that I get 4 more years with her, you guys.
Yeah.
4. That's it. I know. Sad face. Big time. 4 more years. And then she's going to college.
Yeah. I mean, that's my other thing is I don't want to waste these, young years before he's going to go to kindergarten next year. Like, this is my last year to have him here. And then he's off to kindergarten and I'll have free time. But right now it's like, oh, I really want to play with you and do things with you and not be on the computer or messaging with people all day long. Like, setting my hours would be a really good thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a practical thing that you can absolutely do. So it isn't that you don't have time. You do
I
have,
just have to prioritize it again.
and it's okay to choose one priority over another.
Right.
Like, seasons of life, business changes in seasons of life. That's okay. That's okay.
Danielle,
What?
do you feel like you're going to disappoint someone other than yourself? Like, is that, because I kind of hear that, like, well, I want to build this business, but I also want to be like this really awesome mom and this really like amazing wife. Are you like scared or afraid that you're going to let someone in one of those categories down? Is that okay?
All of them. Like, I feel like somebody will lose in one of those categories, like
Well,
right now
just
it's
so you know,
and my husband because we haven't, we've drifted further and further apart because I've just been, I don't know, just not the energy. There's only so much energy to put out, and I put it out into challengers and all these messages that I'm sending all day, every day, like, 15 messages every day, reaching out to people and, building relationships. And I love that. Like, I love that. Giving is like my love language. I love to give. But then I'm like, I'm done. I've got nothing left to give. Like, now you want what? I have to do what?
Yeah.
I'm tired. Like, I don't want to do anything. So, yeah.
well, you only have to go home to one of us at the end of the night, and it's nobody here. You know what I mean? So if you need to like just shut it down and just take that time, then you get back to someone the next day. Like, people don't need immediate responses. You can't be available for everyone 24 hours a day. And if they've already built their trust in you, they're not going to leave you in a drop of a hat to message somebody else who's going to get them a link to a program or a shake or a challenge pack faster. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Sorry,
I think
my dog is whining. She's been in her cage literally for almost 14 hours because she refuses to go out in the rain. Refuses. She will not step foot out that door. And now she's like, Mom, I think I gotta pee.
I know this weather sucks.
Yeah, there's like 8 inches of water in my backyard. I can't even let her out. Like, she's no place to go. You have to,
what other questions
yes. Like,
you guys have?
Great. I think that's it for me.
Thank you for sharing, Danielle. I know that's scary, but clearly a lot of us can relate.
Yeah, no, thank you. That was a lot of, all stuff that I know what I need to do. I just have to do it.
I think a lot of the time too, though, and I know I've said it a lot before, is everyone has like seasons.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like my summer was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't work out. I didn't message anybody. I wasn't available that much. And I'm just like, I was overwhelmed because my season changed. I had 3 kids at home. Kyle was still at work. I didn't know what to do with myself. My schedule was so thrown off. And I didn't really know how to plan for that.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's a new experience. Like, how do you plan for that? I don't know what the dynamic is going to be when I have 3 kids home for the summer. And it was not my season, and your season will come, and then you'll be like banging stuff out. Like, you met your goal today.
Yeah.
I wanted to hit Success Club and I wanted to sign 3 coaches, and you did it. And now it's time to breathe,
And celebrate.
and
Yes.
celebrate.
It's important that you celebrate. It's important that you celebrate and recognize what you've done.
I celebrate everything.
And that looks different for everyone,
Right.
I mean,
Melissa just posted a question in the comment section also. And I feel that question, Melissa. I get it.
Melissa, can you unmute yourself and maybe ask that? I'd just love to hear your voices and feel like I'm asking.
Okay, no, I get it. I just had a baby 3 months ago, so I am full on 100% into this postpartum depression. It is knocking me for a loop. I suffer from depression and anxiety anyways, but yeah, basically since high school, I haven't needed to like medicate it or anything. I'm pretty good at handling it on my own. I'm a almost annoyingly positive person 99% of the time. But when we moved back from Thailand, my husband's in the military, he basically sat me down and he's like, honey, since we've been married, you've been a squirrel. Like talking, oh, butterfly, I'm a squirrel. He's like, you need to get this fixed. Turns out I have the most severe case of ADHD my doctor's ever seen. And so read up on that.
Overachiever.
Huh?
I said kudos to you for being an overachiever.
The doctor was honestly shocked that I hadn't gotten diagnosed as a child because it was that bad. But now it's just like, I feel like I almost like I have that excuse in my head. Oh, I have ADHD. No wonder I can't get anything done. No wonder I haven't ever been as successful at anything. Why should I even try now? Because I'm always going to fail at it. And it's hitting me in my marriage. It's hitting me as a mom, housewife, business person. I get this great fire. I'm good for a day, maybe 2. And then I'm just like, well, okay, so this one day was completely shot. I'm going to go ahead and give up. I'll try again later.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, is there like any organic thought, mojo, whatever I can get through my head?
So thank you for being vulnerable and sharing with us that your postpartum depression is a real thing in your life. I also suffered from postpartum depression after my first child was born, but I didn't know what it was. It was more anxiety than depression, but it was kind of a mixture of both. And I didn't know what it was, and so I suffered in silence. And then after my last child was born, I just pretty much couldn't handle it and had a breakdown in my house and started medication finally. And so I thank you for your courage in saying that. I want to really caution you that you are 3 months postpartum. That's only 12 weeks. In the grand scheme of things, you're like, that's a blip on the radar. That is like a blink of an eye. And so, 3 months is brand new. Are you nursing also, may I ask?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She literally just went down for her 6-hour stretch, so that's the only reason why I'm drinking.
Yeah, so you also have all of the hormone surge that goes on with nursing as well.
Yeah.
You are under the care of your doctor?
Not right now. I'm in the middle of switching because my normal doctor is like 30 minutes away, and it's gotten to the point where like I can't drive longer than 30 minutes. Like I've almost gotten into wrecks.
What happens that you can't drive?
I fell asleep.
Yeah, that's a problem while you're driving.
Yeah. Unless I am like severely caffeinated, and then ADHD squirrel, and then I'm not paying attention to the road because I'm like.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So it sounds to me then like priority number one is to, like, before we even think about your business, right? Priority number one is to ask for what you need, and you need help. You need help getting to the doctor. You need help finding the right doctor. You need to be under care of a medical professional. Before we talk about Success Club, before we talk about running challenge groups, that's, I mean, how do you?
I know, it's just I've been a coach for like 2 years, and like every month it's a fight. Once I can finally get my head into gear and I'm messaging people, I get them to that point where I've got like 3 or 4 people saying, yes, sign me up, give me your link. I send them the link. I'm like, there you go. What's your number? Can I call you? Do you have any questions? And then it's crickets. And it is so frustrating because I've literally gone from emerald to coach to emerald to coach to emerald to coach. And it's this never ending cycle. So it's just like, I agree. I do need to be like seeing a doctor. I do need to be under care, but at the same time, it's just like, Jesus, please.
So when we say, so I said before, language is important. And when we say the word but, it negates what we've just said. Yeah. So I need to be under the care of a doctor. I need to see a doctor, but I should be able to blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm hearing from you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also what came to mind was this idea of deposits and withdrawals, right? So if you think about like a bank account, if we continuously withdraw money from our bank account and we're not making any deposits, we're either going to go in the red or they're going to shut us down, they're going to cut us off. It's crisis mode, essentially. And I feel like, what's that?
I live in that mode.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I feel like you might be living in that mode. So, what is it? I think that you need to think about how to make deposits into your life. So what is it? I'm just curious for you. What is it that brings you joy? Like top 3 things that come to mind that you're just like, "Ugh, that brings me joy and contentment."
Joy and contentment. Oh, geez. It's been so long as a mom. Right now, I consider it a deposit if I get like a 20-minute shower to myself every day. Like bare minimum, that's it.
Okay. 20-minute shower.
That's-
What else?
Joy. That's bliss.
Yeah.
If I get that.
Okay. What else? That's one thing. What else?
Oh, you shush. My husband said eating.
I, th- I thought you might say something else.
No, I'm having a sleep, shower, and a full meal. Right on, Jill. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. You need basic human needs, girl.
Yeah.
You are 3 months postpartum and dealing with, ADHD and everything and you're not under the care of a physician right now.
Because I don't like.
You what?
I don't like them.
You don't like what?
Doctors. It just. Ugh.
Why is that? What's that all about?
Just. I don't like them. I don't know. It's just like this thing. It's like not even like shots and you need to do this to maintain health. It's just I don't like going to a doctor. It's like a hassle. So.
So when the pain of remaining the same
outweighs the benefit of changing. Yeah.
Yeah. What do
I'd
you
rather change by myself than have somebody help me.
Why is that?
Because then I know I did it all by myself and I didn't need help. And I'm really stubborn and prideful like that.
Okay. So what is it about needing help that bothers you?
Needing help is like a sign of weakness.
Okay. And where did that message come from?
I have no clue. I have no clue. I guess there's been like a few points in my life where I like really needed help and I asked for it because people, said I could trust them to ask them for help when I needed it. And then when I really, really needed it, it wasn't there. So I'm sitting there stuck and like, okay, well, I'm going to have to do it on my own anyways. Why ask for help? I must be weak. And since I'm supposed to be doing it on my own anyways, why bother?
Since you're supposed to be doing it on your own.
Yeah.
Says who?
Guess just a taught behavior from past experiences, past boyfriends, family members.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm curious what you need from your spouse.
I'm sorry, what? He's like, I squirreled.
Okay. So I'm curious what you need from your husband.
Jeez. He's right here.
Hey, hubby.
Hey, hubby. Okay, so wait, I'm really open up and be vulnerable. I get to talk about you right here. I don't know. I don't know. It's this whole I started reading up on it last night about like this whole postpartum depression and how it's like affecting our marriage, and It's like the only thing I can come down to is hormonally, I'm kind of like flatlining. So I'm kind of like feeling this pressure to be like I was, but I can't. Like in my brain, it's not clicking right now. And I'm kind of feeling like pressure to stay the same and to keep performing and keep trying to not fail.
Yeah.
And it's
So,
hard.
Of course it's hard. Of course it's hard. I don't know how it wouldn't be hard, girl. So you've had this major life thing happen. By the way, your body just grew a human and then birthed a human. And now the hormones are all over the place and you're nursing. And yet you're expected, you perceive that you are expected to be who you were before that even happened.
Yeah.
Is that fair? Okay.
Yeah. Because I wouldn't say he expects it of me. He is like way, way forgiving and flexible and helpful. He's really helpful.
Yeah, and that's totally the impression that I'm getting from you. I mean, even the fact that you can talk about this and he's sitting right there, I think is amazing. So hubby, you can hear me. I'm totally getting the impression that you're a supportive hubby, and
If you want me to leave, I'll go to the bedroom and
No.
play my game. It's fine. It allows you to talk freer. I don't care.
No. If I can't talk it in front of you, how are we going to ever work through this?
But so I want to ask you the question again, and if you're not comfortable answering this, just say, and totally we will stop. I completely get it because this is vulnerable stuff. But so what is it that you need from your husband? What do you need to hear him tell you? What do you need for him to do for you? What do you need?
That it's okay. That no matter how bad it gets, I'm not going to be alone.
Yeah.
Huge abandonment issues, but that's like a whole nother thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So your world is like crazy, crazy right now, girl. And again, of course it is. I mean, please give yourself a little breathing room. I don't know how it couldn't be right now. And so you have this amazing, wonderful, loving husband who's right there and just heard what you need to hear from him. But you said it to me. And so I want to encourage you. I know this is hard. You guys, this is hard stuff. Like, this is hard, vulnerable Brene Brown stuff. I love her.
Who is she? I feel like I'm just like putting the
Okay. All right. Hold on.
Who's her name?
So personal development for you, I would encourage you to read The Gifts of Imperfection, or Google Brene Brown, Brene Brown, Brene Brown. She has a couple of TED Talks on YouTube that are phenomenal.
Okay.
Phenomenal. And she has 3 books. The Gifts of Imperfection, Daring Greatly, and Rising Strong are her 3 books in that order. So anyway, you have told me what you need to hear from your husband. And so what I want to encourage you to do when we're done tonight and we're off this call is to look at him and tell him what you need to hear from him, and trust him. Trust that he's going to meet that need. He hasn't given you reason to doubt him otherwise. Other people have. He is not them. Okay? Who in this chat tonight do you know and feel comfortable with that could keep you accountable to that?
Definitely Danny.
All right, Danielle, would you be willing to keep her accountable to that? Yeah, cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Okay.
We've known each other since we were like 14. So I've been
Yeah. AOL, baby.
all of this.
AOL.
AOL, back in the day.
That's great. That's
I'm
awesome.
so proud of you, Melissa. I love you.
Melissa, thank you for
It was huge for you. I'm like,
that.
and Russ, I love you too. You're the man.
I don't know you, but I love you too.
Okay, somebody else open up.
Yeah.
Come on. I did like 5 years of therapy in 25 minutes. Come on.
I just want a second and listen to with your spouse. There's a short video that she does, and I've posted it in the group before, and it's about God, what is it even called right now? Oh gosh, I brain farted. Hold on. It's about empathy and how, you know, there's people who empathize with you, and then there's people who, you know, like, okay, so your dog died. All right. You don't have, your friend's dog died. You don't have a dog. So you don't know what that feels like. So instead of saying things like, yeah, it's really bad, you know, sorry about that, sorry about your luck, you know, you go to the person, you say, I don't know how you feel right now, but I want you to know that I'm here for you. You know, those are the kind of things that we need to be telling each other. And empathy is, I think, one of the things that, you know, really carries relationships.
Yeah.
And that's where your support system comes from, is being empathetic with your friends and with the people that you love. And it's just a wonderful video. Kyle and I watched it together one day, and we're like, oh yeah, we really need to change the way that we speak to each other, even though we don't mean it like that. Like sometimes when you say things, it's not how it's meant, but it's how it's heard. And it's empathy is so huge. And that was a video that really changed our relationship. And it was 5 minutes long.
I just posted it in our group. So.
She has
Oh, did you find it?
Yay.
She's got some great ones. So, but I would say definitely heal you. Heal you first.